In light of some of the more recent developments, even in our own country, as it pertains to the issues of Israel and Palestine, the historian in me decided to come out just a little bit and do some looking. I mean, we've heard folks talking about the modern context of conflict there, starting after World War II, but the issues have been going on longer than that for the modern scene as it is now. On November 29th, 1947, the United Nations voted for the creation of an independent Jewish state, now known as Israel. And it was partitioned from what was known then as Palestine, and the modern conflict in Palestine between Jews and Arabs began in the 1910s, a bit further back than we are usually told. Both groups demanded the right to the British-controlled territory. The Zionist Jews that had been immigrating recently from Russia and Europe to the territory, and the native Palestinian Arabs. And the natives, Arabs, were displeased at the immigration that was coming and wanted it curtailed. They wanted to set up their own secular Palestinian state. After all, at that point, they were ruled by the British. Tensions between the Arabs and the Jews culminated in outright fighting in Palestine starting in 1929. In attempts to resolve the conflict, Britain tried to limit the amount of immigration of Jewish persons to the territory. However, they were still arriving illegally, especially during and after World War II because of the Holocaust, and we bear some responsibility for that. In Palestine, radical Jewish groups engaged in terrorism against the British forces. At the end of the war, the United States agreed with the Zionist cause, something we have continued to be in support of as a nation, regardless of what others within our nation have said and spoken against the Zionist movement. Britain could not find a practical solution to what was happening there. Consequently, the nation referred the problems of the Palestinian and Jewish conflict to the United Nations. The United Nations voted for the partition of Palestine despite native Arab opposition. And here we are, still with that conflict. We want things to resolve quickly and easily, and they never do. This is a conflict that has, for some, political implication, for others, religious implication, and in worst-case scenarios, the two are so tightly tied together they cannot be separated. What we, as human beings, need to remember is that human beings are being destroyed by this conflict of ideologies and conflict acted out in war and terror and attacks. We may not like it, but it is happening. And we can and need to stand up for the human rights that must continue to exist and the humanity of both Jews and Palestinians be recognized. And we need to stop conflating the modern nation of Israel with Judaism. And the whole concept of speaking against the actions of a nation now being termed anti-Semitic, is problematic. Anytime secular power and religious power conflate, it doesn't end well. I will continue to speak for the recognition of human beings, the recognition necessary for our brothers and sisters who are Palestinian and our brothers and sisters who are Jewish, while speaking against terrorist groups and political, nationalistic actions that are unjust. And I know I could get some hate for that. But justice should prevail. Have a good day.